Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today we continue the artist series right here, BusyWorksBeats.com/Beat Magic. Today we're going to focus on 21 Savage. Metro Boomin was behind so many dope artists in the ATL area, and 21 Savage was a part of that. At first, I didn't really understand 21 when he first came out, but then I was like, wow, he has a sound. And so anyway, the scale we're going to use right now is C minor. I had to map it out just a second ago off cam, and we're going to start in the scale just so we can pick the proper notes that sound good together to make a 21-esque melody. Let's open up Nexus. You're going to get these project files for free, okay, with the link below. So the question is, where do we start? So I'm going to use some sounds that might not be in the factory library just so we get more precise with sound selection. Let's try some, I think we like the Hollywood sound last time. And let's see if they have any piano. I don't know. Can't read from back here. They have some movie score pianos. So in the beat that I'm referring to, it goes, wait, hold on. Immortal, it goes, dun, dun, dun. Now let's look at why this is cool. It's a lot of half steps, okay? That's why it sounds so haunted. Half steps are when notes are right next to each other. So that's why this sounds so cool. Let me just put them all in a row so you can just hear it all together. So it's more like, the way they timed it was like this. Okay, but again, the reason why it sounds so haunted is because of these half steps. So let's take that same mentality with the C minor scale and let's map out the scale here. So we have, see, can you, I want to see if Scaler can drag out the scale. I don't know if it can or not. I'm just quickly kind of looking. I don't see anything that says drag scale. Who knows? But let's just map it out. So it's the natural minor scale. So that's just starting at C. We're going to use the scale codes. The scale codes are included in the Music Theory Essentials course package, but it's whole, which means 2 steps away, half, meaning 1 note away, whole. Then it's whole. So it's whole, half, whole. So that's the first portion of the scale, starting from C, whole, half, whole. Then it's whole, half, whole, whole. Now I can triple check, just to always triple check, make sure I'm on the right ballpark. C minor, let's see, it's kind of hard to read this on the side. Oh, they tell you in the notes here. Okay, we have E flat, okay, which is D sharp. You have D, you have C, you have A flat, which is G sharp. Then you have G, and then you have E flat, which would be D sharp again. We started at E flat. Okay, so we have the scale. Oops, sorry. Pull that down in volume and pull it to the right. So you have it as a reference in your piano roll. So I'm just going to duplicate it up 2 octaves just so we have like a lot of space to look at it. Pull this down 1 octave so it's in the right range, and then move it a little bit to the right because it's kind of in the way. All right, so we're at 185 BPM. A lot of modern tracks are becoming faster and faster. So let's just start really anywhere in the scale. And the magic is just looking for those half steps. Okay, so I'm literally just looking at where the notes have 2 in a row. And that's the trick here. So I'm just starting at the top at G sharp. And it's way high up. So let's pull that down. Okay, so half step. And then we're going to go to the next half steps. And the next. Now this one, I'm going to introduce a whole step. Somewhere in here has to be a whole step. Everything can't be half steps. Actually, let's do that. And just do octaves. There we go. Take control up. And just have that repeat. So it's very haunted of a sound. I'm probably going to swap that sound out. But I like the piano. It just reminds me of like a horror film. And you can use any grand piano. You don't have to use this Hollywood expansion piano. Let's see what else they have in here. So many patches all kind of just stacked. Kind of just want to switch it up and not use piano, but sometimes if you experiment too much, it doesn't come out the same way. So let's duplicate it, and here I'll use the stock piano. Let's go to piano and go to grand piano. Copy this over into a new pattern. And let's get rid of well, let's keep that there for now. Add it into the playlist. Again, you're gonna get these project files, so if you're like lost along the way, it's okay. Let's see what we like more. And the project's taking a while to save, so give it a sec. Maybe we could stack it up so it's not always the strings. Let's send this to the mixer so we can start EQing out some stuff. Let's add a parametric EQ too. And I'm using a cloud lifter for my mic, so that's why my mic sounds way crispier now. I don't like that knock sound, but we just kind of have to deal with it because it's in the sample. That's kind of annoying though. So let's see if there's another piano. Maybe the dance piano. Okay, let's do this one instead. I just don't like that knock sound of the other one. This has a delay and reverb on it too, so it adds a little bit more movement. We might have to take it out later. Let's go to our Metro kit. I think we need a crash. Grab some hats. Grab the OG 808. Rim shot. Did I grab a clap already? Yeah, I did. Let's add another clap just for balance. And do we have a kick? I don't think so. Okay, so now we have all the drums. Let's send these to the mixer. Highlight all these. Go to your mixer. Find a blank mixer channel. Right click. Go to channel routing. Route selected channels starting from this track. Okay, so everything's in their own mixer slot. If you don't see these numbers, hit Alt M to hide or reveal these numbers. Okay, let's add a rhythm here. Let's start with the 808. Actually, last time we ended up finishing on the 808. So let's start with the kick. Let's start with the kick clap. So if you turn on your metronome, the clap's going to go on the 3 and the 7 count. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the difference between trap drums and regular drums. Now the drums sound whatever right now. I'll show you how to pump them up. I'm going to have the kick kind of double over the snare. So load up a Fruity Soft Clipper on your kick track. Turn the threshold up. Just crank your volume on the kick so it hits harder. Let's start turning stuff down. Everything does not need to be super loud. Kind of like the regular piano, but I'm going back to the Hollywood one just because it doesn't have that clanky sound in it. And I lost track of where it was. Here it is. Oh, this still has like that clank. You can kind of get rid of it with EQ, but not really. And that's just because we're using high notes. Here's another technique. Go to your wrench tool and turn up time shift. So the melody isn't right on the downbeat. I think this clap has like a little low end in it, so let's add an EQ too. It has like a weird low end, so let's EQ that out. For him, I think it's just right click, fill each 4 steps for the hi-hats. Very basic hi-hat. We might switch it up actually over time. Yeah, let's actually make it faster. Right click, fill each 2 steps. Let's find a bounce where we can add the rim shot areas. So now we're adding the bounce to the drums. There we go. Now we have a bounce. Keep in mind this hi-hat has a little gap in the beginning, so it adds its natural groove to the track. Add this cymbals, turn it down in volume, just add it in. Okay, let's add some bounce from the snare. So we need to change it up every now and again. So let's clone it so the drums don't sound stagnant and kind of the same. And let's do something different about this section of the drums on pattern 5. Like take out stuff. So just so it's a little change up. Grab the 808 now. I'm going to turn it on the hold parameter, so go to your envelope, turn the hold parameter all the way up. Now I didn't tune the 808 just yet, I'm just going by ear. I like that. Dun, dun, dun. Let's record that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's quantize that, hit Alt Q. I don't like that double to do, so let's drag that out. The key here is that the 808 has its hold envelope all the way on, so that means whenever the notes don't play, it leaves a little gap. And these little gaps add to the bounce. I remember niggas, I was 21. Let me see. I don't know if I can freestyle 21 Savage because I feel like he writes his raps. I don't know if he freestyles or not. But he might have freestyled the, I think he freestyled the XXL freshman freestyle. So I might try it. Look at the tempo, we're at 185. This is all it is, really. It's just one of those beats that just is dope and you can rap to. So throughout the beat, the question is, how do you separate the verse from the chorus? You just drop out stuff, take out stuff. So, for example, you wouldn't introduce the 808 right away. Not even the kick. So let's add a couple things, like a little groove with the 808. Go to your wrench tool, turn up time shift just a little bit. Here's where I want the drums to drop out. So we need something to change up. So let's try halftime on the piano. It may or may not sound good. Halftime usually sounds good on like fast things. So here's what we'll do. Let's record the piano into Edison in halftime. Let's record on play. Record, go hit stop twice up here, hit play. And we'll reverse the piano audio. So let's double click. Now, I don't know what these markers are here, so I might have to manually move these out of the way. It looks like this, since I did stuff in the song, it kind of falsely, so this looks like the end of the thing. So anyway, I'm gonna left click, grab that. Let's double click these markers, send to playlist as an audio clip, and then click up here, go to channel settings, and let's hit reverse. And let's turn off the original. Oh, you know what? And this is also routed to the halftime, so let's take it out of that track and go to a new track. So what we need to do is line it up with the transient. So let's zoom in and grab that slip tool and hit Alt, left click. Actually, no, you know what? It's not going to slip because we're already all the way slipped. So grab your pencil tool, hit Alt, and just line it up manually. It looks like it missed a little portion, but whatever. Oh, you know what? I think I didn't record 2 more bars. So let's go back to Edison. Let's see what I missed here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did I miss that? I have no idea how that happened. Me looking at the markers, that's what happened. Let's double click, send to playlist, and it will be a new clip, and I can't differentiate which one is which. Okay, so that's the new one, and let's get rid of this other one. Let's send this to 10, just a blank track. Click up here, go to channel settings, reverse, and this one, what we have to do is just visually look at it, because this is 8 bars, so we're going to drag it, but you can see there's like a little time offset. So let's see if the slip tool, so we're going to grab the slip tool, just zoom in, hit Alt, left click, and just line up these transients with the vertical line columns. Now we have that Drake vibe. Okay, so now we can kind of do audio stuff. Now I want to see what it sounds like with the... Oh, you know what? It has halftime. I'm like, why does it sound like I can't hear it? Okay. And then you can bring in the other piano as like an upbeat kind of thing. So we'll introduce that over time. So now let's mess with this audio. Let me make the screen a little more. There we go. Another thing is these transients are kind of too quantized, so we need to think in reverse. We need to make them a little delayed off the grid to the right. So let's grab that slip tool again, hit Alt, and then right. We don't want them too off the grid, so let's zoom in and kind of go by ear. We just want just enough groove on it. Now we're right in the groove. All right, so let me just start cutting stuff out. This might be too much to go all the way through. Okay, so now it's just adding like small effects. The beat's really done. I might mix it a little bit. I'm not gonna overly mix today. But let's add the RVox on the 808. That was a good sound last time. Let's see if it works on this 808. Now, I might use, instead of RVox, I might go with the dynamic, where's it at? Ozone 9 Dynamics. This will give me a multi-band compressor. So I'm going to solo just around like 200 and below. Pretty much the majority of the 808 is 200 and below. But the goal is, let's do maybe 100 and below. And let's compress this. Let's go to all so we can see everything. And we want to basically compress it so that it's limited. We might as well just use a limiter. Let's use auto gain compensation here. And let's just tame the other portion with this small compressor here. Now, one thing I might try is the isotope ozone exciter. And let's focus on that low end and just use triode mode. Just to get it to vibrate a little bit more. I don't know, it kind of fills out the sound too much. Let's just do it very subtly. It's hard to hear the 808, so let me. You could also try widening out the 808. I don't want to do all that right now. Now, one more thing is with the piano, you want to compress it, but not take away all the dynamic. So let's use Ozone's dynamics again. And just keep it at a stable level. We're just going to compress the whole thing as one. I'm just going to use a limiter because I don't feel like setting all the settings up. I just want it loud enough, but just tamed with the level, the volume. Also, let's take out the low end. So what I'll do is I'll pull up a notepad. First of all, let me set up a reverb. So I'm going to record like a little mock vocal to it, just so we can understand like how far to take this. Once you understand how important the vocals are in all songs, you'll stop over producing, because a lot of people just overly produce and it's just too much. Let's send this to the reverb. So I'm pulling everything into a uniform reverb just so it sounds the same. So now I'm just gonna write rhyme words. 21. 21. Oh God.
They be like 21, what you got? A lot.
21.
M16s, F&Ns, and Glocks.
Oh God.
No 12 gauge, got the barrels in stock. Off-white grip, no drip, this drop. They be like 21, what you got? A lot. I got hope for the hoes and a scope for the ops. Funny how I never had no dope on the block.
21.
I was just hot, I was dope on the block.
21.
Funny how you never had no clientele. Work in the mail, you was working the mail.
21.
Could've got you popped when I was 17. With the Glock 9 or the Glock 17. They be like 21, what you got? A lot.
21.
M16s, F&Ns, and Glocks.
Oh God.
No 12 gauge, got the barrels in stock. Off-white grip, no drip, this drop. They be like 21, what you got? A lot.
21.
M16s, F&Ns, and Glocks.
Oh God.
No 12 gauge, got the barrels in stock. Off-white grip, no drip, this drop. They be like 21, what you got? A lot of F&Ns, 223s, and Glocks. Laser beam green like the money in my pocket.
21.
Fucking up these bands like a nigga went to college. They say never run your mouth if you can't pay the bill. Savage gang, shorty, they get paid to kill. 100 round drum on them guns, no silences. Talk is cheap, money talks, I silence you. Like 21, what you got? A lot.
21.
M16s, F&Ns, and Glocks.
Oh God.
No 12 gauge, got the barrels in stock. Off-white grip, no drip, this drop. They be like 21, what you got? A lot.
21.
M16s, F&Ns, and Glocks.
Oh God.
No 12 gauge, got the barrels in stock. Off-white grip, no drip, this drop. They be like 21, what you got? A lot.
21.
M16s, F&Ns, and Glocks.
Oh God.
No 12 gauge, got the barrels in stock. Off-white grip, no drip, this drop. They be like 21, what you got? A lot.
21.
M16s, F&Ns, and Glocks.
Oh God.
No 12 gauge, got the barrels in stock. Off-white grip, no drip, this drop. They be like 21, what you got? A lot.